Thanks so much, Diana. Well, a lot of people very fearful, I think, of this on their wedding day. After the cold feet, you get over that. You're standing at the altar, remembering your wedding vows.
Oh, this is so important. Well, it's not just vows, but also memory techniques come in when you want to remember a toast or remember any sort of speech.
So before we go on, I'm not going to forget to introduce you, David Farrow. You're a memorization expert, is that?
Certainly brain training expert, however you like.
Okay, so you're going to give us tips today, like you already started, on how to memorize your vows, not forget them when you're very nervous.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the interesting thing about memory is that, you know, it seems to shut off whenever we get stressed. My claim to fame is being in the Guinness Book of World Records. I can't begin to tell you how stressful that was, but, you know, like a lot of athletes, performing under pressure is an important part of this. So one of the keys is to visualize information. When we try to memorize things word for word, we're thinking about the words in our head, and getting stressed kind of interferes with that mental process. But we seem to be very good at visualizing things. So turning things into a story, making a visual picture.
Okay.
Here's my suggestion. You know, if you want to get something the memory expert way, the Guinness record way. Number one, when you look at a speech or you look at your vows, don't try to memorize every single word. This is actually a secret that professional speakers use, politicians use it. In order to get something word for word, you don't memorize every word. You pick your key words. These are words that will remind you of the whole sentence. So, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. The word ears will remind you of that whole sentence, okay?
Right.
So, so you pick those key words, and now all of a sudden you've turned a speech into bullet points. Much easier to remember.
Right.
And then the second step is to mentally picture those bullet points around a room that you know. So I'll give you my example. I'll be totally embarrassing about my vows, if you don't mind.
Oh, I was reading this earlier. I thought this was just lovely what you did.
Sure. Well, first of all, you know, vows are very, very specific, and my wife and I are geeks, so there's a bit of geek references. But number one, I said that I'm going to be your safe harbor, your protection in a storm. So the way I picture that is I imagine my front door, and I imagine a giant tugboat crashing through it. Now, it sounds silly and crazy, but when you're stressed at the altar, I'm going to remember the tugboat. I'm not going to remember saying words over and over. And the next thing, this is embarrassing, but I said I'll be the He-Man to your Tila and the Batman to your Catwoman. Like I said, we're geeks. Anyways, so I imagine He-Man and Tila, you know, jumping on the couch, and Batman hiding behind the TV, you know, that sort of thing. And it's all good fun, but later on, whenever I get stressed and when I was ready to do that, it's actually called the journey method, or the method of loci that the Greeks used.
Okay.
It's a very powerful way to remember large amounts of information. Mentally go around the room, you can easily remember this stuff.
I think that's a great suggestion there. I kind of do that with the weather, too. You just want to think of key points. It's like telling a story rather than, like you said, getting all the minor words in there.
Yeah.
And Dave, we're running out of time, but we have to talk about a wonderful event that you will be a part of next weekend, March 9th. Yeah,
the whole point, we're trying to help out the local Make-A-Wish chapter, different from the national. The local doesn't get any money from the national. So I'm actually doing a seminar where I'm going to teach you all the secrets of the Farrow Memory Method. It's the Guinness World Record holder for memory. I'm going to show you how to cut your study time by more than half and remember everything. We're going to go over names and faces, so you'll never be embarrassed about forgetting a person's name again. I've memorized an entire studio audience live on TV. You can check it out on YouTube. But better yet, check it out on SaveMyMemory.com. If you can't memorize that website, then you really need to go. So write it down, SaveMyMemory.com. It's only $20. All proceeds go to Make-A-Wish, and we really tell your friends. We really want to make sure that it's a big event.
And you were saying it's important because this Make-A-Wish is for the local chapter, not the national one, and the national doesn't give to the local.
Well, and also, if you can get kids, we have a family pack for kids, 6 tickets for $100. You get a free ticket, and if you can get kids to know that there is such a thing as study skills, as opposed to you're just born with it, and if you can't study well, you're screwed in life, like you have a bad chance at life. You give them study skills early in life, and it completely changes their chances of going into college.
Absolutely. Dave, thank you so much for being here. We're going to send things to break. Weather coming up in